Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep final mix playthrough. We are getting ever so close now to the end of Terra's story, but we have got a little bit to go before that point. Primarily we've got two more boards on the command board to go through before this is all over and done with. So, we've got the skull board, which we got from beating Neverland, and then the final one will turn up once you beat the skull board. So once you've beaten every other board in the command board, you get the final board, which is called the secret board. And yeah, basically this part and next part are going to be full-on command board madness. And part of me looks at that and just goes, oh my god, what did I do? What crazy decision was made to allow this to be a part, well, two full parts of this playthrough. But hey, I stick to my guns in terms of how I choose to do my playthroughs, or at least I try to. So, I said I'd show off all the command boards. I'm showing off all the command boards, for better or for worse. But, after the next part, that will be the last you're going to see of it, so there is that to hold on to. Now, the skull board is an interesting one, because it's actually quite fun, in the sense of there are a lot of loops that you can do, and there's a lot of strategy that can be implemented in terms of which directions you go depending on what the AI is going to do. So for example, since I know that Peter's coming down around the left hand side, I can go down and effectively meet him, and hopefully he will have passed the prize cube before I appear. However, in this instance I decided to go up and down to the right, purely because I know that none of them are going to be down there, so I can just take the prize cube up and have a safe trip. Since Peter has taken the prize cube on the top to the left, that means that then I can take it to the right. So it's all about making use of those prize cubes, really, for this one. But it is really big, and pixie dust, which is the special space for this board, can be really cool, but also a massive pain. Thankfully, Peter decided not to mess with me because I'm in last at present, which is good. Well, it's not good that I'm in last, but it's good that he didn't choose me. Because what's pretty much your best tactic for making use of pixie dust is dragging people into the failure prize cube sections. So I'm going to drop Peter on the 560 because it means that he's going to lose 560G, and that's pretty much how I use pixie dust, and it's how I'd say most people would recommend you use the pixie dust, because it's a great way of completely screwing over your opponents. You can also accidentally put them in a better position, but that's just one of the ways that it goes. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, other than making sure to position them in a location where they're not going to be able to do too much. So for example, dropping them in the middle of the negative area is a good shout. But yes, we are going to be here for quite a while. But it's all good. I don't really have any major topics of discussion other than the fact of over the weekend there was new Kingdom Hearts 3 footage revealed and demos and all sorts, and I have to say I am in love right now. Obviously, the game isn't out yet, and the final success of Kingdom Hearts 3 will be revealed when we actually get to that point, when it gets released. But it seems ever closer that it will get released in 2018, and that would make my year, definitely. There are two games that I desperately want to come out in the next year and a bit, and that's Kingdom Hearts 3 and Bayonetta 3. If I can get those, then I will be very happy. And it seems very likely that we're going to get Kingdom Hearts 3, so I've now just got to hope and pray for Bayonetta 3. But we'll see what happens on that front. So, with all the kind of Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff that got revealed, I have to say, sort of, the one thing that I'm finding most fascinating is that effectively what they've done with the combat style is blend all of the previous Kingdom Hearts combat styles together. So you've got the flow motion from Dreamed Up Distance, you've got the kind of menu and so on and so forth from Kingdom Hearts 2, and Sora effectively plays like that. But then you've got the command styles and so on and so forth of Birth by Sleep. It's not working exactly the same way, but it's relatively similar in terms of its structure, in that you attack and then eventually you are able to then attack and change the style, and then you can do more cool things and they level up and so on and so forth. So I'm really excited to actually get a chance to play Kingdom Hearts 3 now, because it looks like it takes everything good about all the different Kingdom Hearts games and sort of mushes them together, plus adding this whole cool wrinkle of being able to switch keyblades on the fly, which seems like a really awesome idea. And it's one of the things that I would say Kingdom Hearts has always struggled with, in a way, is that as you go, certain keyblades are just useless to you.
There we go.
And you only ever take the ones that are kind of better as you go up. So, at the minute, I can't remember, I think it's Ends of the Earth that we've got. And that replaced the next highest one, and so on and so forth. So, frequently, a lot of playthroughs end up feeling the same, because all you end up doing is going, well, this is the best keyblade at this moment, therefore I'll take it. And there's no real nuance to keyblade usage. I mean, there's a little bit of nuance, because they all have their own stats, and different characters work, well, in Birth by Sleep anyway, different characters work better with different keyblades. But in general, you're pretty much stuck with the same ones. Like, Treasure Trove ends up being like the best one for a while, and then it's pretty much always the keyblade that everyone gets after their visit to Destiny Islands that ends up being the sort of superior one for most of the game. And then obviously once you've got an ultimate weapon, why the hell would you need anything else? But getting ultimate weapon is a bit of a challenge. Not as much of a challenge as it has been in the past. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1's ultimate weapon, the fact that you had to synthesize all that stuff was just an absolute nightmare. I still can't believe that I actually managed to do that in my playthrough. And then I believe the ultimate weapon in Kingdom Hearts 2 was for beating the Colosseum or the Underdome. It was one of the two. I mean, I think the Colosseum was the understatement in that game, so yeah. But I'm pretty sure it was for beating that, and yeah, that was not happening, because that was really challenging. So this one's definitely a better version of that, in terms of getting it. But it's a lot easier with certain characters than others. I mean, basically, you do not want to be doing any of the optional bosses with Terra, because it's just going to be a bad time all round. I mean, they can be really challenging with, say, Aqua or Ven, but oh boy, it's not pretty trying to do it with Terra. So just don't even bother, really. I mean, obviously, if you're wanting to 100% the game and you're wanting to just in general do well, you can do them, but it is a challenge, and I'm really not doing very well on this board at the minute. Like, Peter's all the way off at like 8,888, and I'm down there on bloody 4,000. You can see why I'm just choosing to ignore my tactics, because it's clearly not going well for me this time round. I think what I'm probably going to end up having to do is, yeah, I'll stun Peter for a little bit, prevent him from making it any further around this board. And then probably what's going to be my tactic for succeeding is getting that prize cube and winning. Because that prize cube is going to be loaded with GP, I feel. And I desperately need it right now. Because if I land on another square, then I'm going to have to sell another space, and that's just not okay. Oh boy, thank God for that. Doesn't quite put me in the running yet, but it's still something, and Jesus Christ, this thing gets expensive.
There we go.
Yeah, one of the challenges in this particular board is that this little green square does just get ludicrously expensive as you progress through the level. And yes, guys, thank you so much for landing on those spaces, because it's getting me slightly closer to being in winning contention. Because I'm really not at the minute. I'm determined to be by the end of, this board. I mean, you'd bloody hope so. I don't think I would have included it had I not been in the running to be successful.
There we
But
go.
yes, since they're all going up the top there, my hope, my plan anyway, is that they're gonna drop down before I get there, and therefore I can take the prize cube off of them. That's the idea anyway. Whether it actually ends up happening that way, different kettle of fish. Kind of funny saying that when we've got the old codfish himself, Captain Hook, that we're playing against. But yeah.
How you like this?
You can see at this moment the brain's just going, how do I want to do this? And yeah, that's probably my smartest move that I've got. And then just loop until they bring that prize cube to me, because otherwise I'm just not really going to get very far. And I don't think I actually did the best possible route on this, because what I probably should have done would have been to maybe take the L and go up to get the red and get that prize cube on the top. But then I probably would have had the same issue down at the bottom here, so...
There we go.
It's a difficult one to figure out sometimes. And also, you know, I'm in this position where all of a sudden I'm running low on cards again, but I want to be able to make it around the board, and we're getting very close to the point where we could have a victor. And oh god. Oh, that is fine, he's going to screw over Peter. I'll happily take that one. It's not as big a screw over as I would have liked. I mean, you could have lobbed him into the green circle of death, and that would have been particularly satisfying. Because I could have put him into, yeah, that one there, dropped him 588, I mean, that would have given me the victory. Or at least put me in the lead for the time being, that would be nice. But clearly, it's just not the way it wants to go. And I don't know why I bothered to do that, because I have just ended up screwing myself over. I should have just waited for Hook to come down, because, I mean, then I could have gotten, you know, money from that prize cube, but I've never been the best at these sorts of games.
You can't stop me.
Like, really definitely have not been the best at these sorts of games. And you can clearly tell in how I have gone through some of these things. I mean, like, I'm in last again. It's a very tight race. But I just... Yeah, he's going to get a whole bunch of money as soon as he lands there, so I'm not looking forward to that. So yes, at this moment, my brain's going, oh god, this is going really, really badly south.
No.
And I've got to make sure that I
All right.
get victory soon. I thought that was a good idea. The logic was I break his magical power circle, and then that'll lower his GP. No, it did not. In fact, what it ended up doing was putting him less than 500 GP from victory. So really at this point, it's a case of stopping Hook from getting anywhere.
How you like this?
Because if he gets, well, when he gets that next checkpoint, he is going to be absolutely loaded. And so, really, I've got to get the red, get back to start, and get round the loop before Hook makes it to the finish line. Thankfully, he doesn't use his hand at all. Otherwise, this would have definitely been a complete and utter failure of a run of this board, and I would have been very, very, very angry with
You can't
myself.
stop me.
Cause, like, seriously. But I'm going to go for the incredibly clutch
There we
victory. That's my plan, anyway. So, we will see just how well my aim for the clutch victory goes. I mean, that's helpful. That's very helpful. Terrible rolls on Hook's part are going to be the key to me potentially getting victory, because otherwise, yeah. Ooh. So I have a 2 dice,
Okay.
so that will get me a bit further round the board. Don't know whether that quite gets me to... Oh good, that gets me to start. So that's already enough to get me into first place. Just what needs to happen now is, well, I'm putting all my eggs into that basket, because that's my last line of defense against Hook. But thankfully, he screwed up again, so that gives me, as long as I triple dice it, the ability to get round that mini-loop and straight on to victory.
Stop me.
But yeah, certainly one of the tightest runs I've had on the command board. I was getting very, 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 very nervous, because it was just like one of those moments of just going, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. But it's okay,
There we go.
because I won. And so, with the skull board defeated, we have one more command board to go. Let's do this.